Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Underhood Show presented by Mel Hambelton Ford. My name's Phil Nightingale. I got Nick Ballman. I got Josh Prophet on the IT side, right, Josh?
Yeah, after heavy negotiations last night.
He's on the mixing board over there.
You got everything dialed in. Hey, everybody, we're live from the Chili Bowl, 37th annual, Tulsa, Oklahoma. You know, we should have drove around and found some more of that Tulsa King stuff, but we didn't, did we?
No, we didn't. We didn't have time to go check out any filming locations, whether it's filmed here or not, I don't even know. But
it might not even be.
But I haven't even started watching it yet.
You got to watch it. It's great.
I think when I get home tonight, I might start watching it. But
so anyway, hey, it's a call-in show, and today we're going to talk about. I don't know what all we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. So stay tuned for some trivia questions we got coming up. We're going to have some giveaway stuff for that too. But we want to get on the air here with us, 316-462-3673. That goes right into the dealership at the main desk. And, of course, we're live down here inside our booth that we had here at all week. And it's been a great week here at the Chili Bowl, and we kind of did this last minute. On last Wednesday, we decided we were coming. And so Brian Holbert, he's the track announcer here at the Chili Bowl. Him and I got together and worked it out, and then Donna got things put together, and here we go. We made a fast trip, and it's been a good week, but a long week too. We sold a lot of stuff and give away a lot of good product and everything else too. So great to be down here at the Chili Bowl, and so let's get the phones ringing. 316-462-3673. We're going to talk about the Chili Bowl. There were some exciting races last night, and that's what's on the background right now.
On the back up here
is the races from last night and stuff. Had one car you'll see here in a little bit getting up in the fence pretty good, and the guy that got in the fence got a kind of a raw deal, I think, from that point, kind of a short deal. So anyway, hey, every caller gets a great price package. Only show I know you get paid to call in on. So Josh, as always, for each and every caller, what's in that package?
So we mail it out to you, but it's going to consist of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation. We use Motorcraft oil and filter products at Mel Hambelton Ford. While we're performing that, we're going to complete a multi-point inspection on that vehicle, checking over the brakes, tires, steering, suspension, all the safety-related stuff, making sure that vehicle's geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. You'll also receive yourself $10 to Mel's Diner, so you can get yourself something to eat and drink while you're with us at the Big Corner. Complete nitrogen for your tires, so you get all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer. And then a BG products package, which consists of a can of 44K for fuel system and MOA for your engine oil. Again, just getting that car geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving.
Okay, so let's get the phones ringing. Anything you want to talk about today? If you have something ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries, or something you just don't understand, we'll love to take those calls too. But anything to the Chili Bowl. But here we go. When the Chili Bowl, it's a 72-inch wheelbase, 900-pound car, 450 horsepower.
Yeah, the weight to power ratio is pretty cool.
Yeah, do the math there.
I want to get in one so bad, but by myself. I don't want to get out to the other cars so I can dial that thing in. But I think it would be a blast to be in that car, just to feel the inertia, feel the G-force on you, and get her going and wrapping up and going. But it's crazy they can get that much horsepower out of a 4-cylinder engine.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, the technology of these midget engines has come a long ways. But, I mean, basically, if you take a 410 sprint car engine, that makes 950 horsepower and chop one bank off of it,
well, that's what you got.
It's crazy. And the way they can hook these things up, and really there's very little suspension to these cars, too. It's shocks, basically, is all it really is.
Yeah.
How they work and everything else, too. Of course, running that Hoosier tire, which we love. I wish Oklahoma was our territory. That would be fun, wouldn't it, Nick?
Yeah, it would.
So I think Nick kind of talked to Oklahoma South, or not Oklahoma South, Hoosier Tire South last night, kind of on their tires and how that was working out for them. So,
yeah, so we tried to come up with a little bit of a tire rule for the Chili Bowl this year, but didn't quite work out. So Hoosier had to build some open competition tires to get through this event. But next year in 2024, the Chili Bowl will be on a tire rule. The SP2 on the right rear and D12s on the left rear. So
what are they doing this year? What's going on? I didn't know anything about this.
So basically, with the consolidation that Hoosier is doing with their inventory to try to increase efficiency of production, they've eliminated a lot of 10 to 13-inch bead size tires so that they have the capacity to produce more of the more popular tires. Well, they basically cut out all of the open competition midget tires, and they were going to run the Chili Bowl this year on the spec right rear and the D12 left rear. But the way I understand it, there were a lot of teams that, come pretty much just for this race that were already geared up with open competition tires. And, it was going to kind of put them in a bind, and they were going to have a lot of wasted inventory that they couldn't use. So Hoosier and the Chili Bowl decided that one more year they would leave the tire rule open and let those guys burn up what they've got. And Hoosier buckled down and produced enough tires to get everybody through the weekend. And
so what's the difference between the open competition tire and then the D12
so the spec
D14, D35?
Yes, sir, guys. We'll come back to that here. Let's go to the phone. We've got Delbert is on live with us. So good morning, Delbert.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are thou this morning?
Doing great.
Is this the Tulsa King too?
2.0.
Yeah. So a couple things about the Tulsa King y'all might not know. Apparently you don't. Is it's filmed in Oklahoma City mostly. There are some scenes done in Tulsa. The actual hotel is done in Tulsa that he lives in.
Really?
And they have studios here in downtown Oklahoma City. Prairie Surf Studios is where it's actually located, downtown OKC. So that's where it's mostly filmed at. And they film all over the city, doing little scenes here and there. If anybody knows Oklahoma City, they can notice the buildings in the background. It's kind of funny. They did a great job keeping the buildings looking, more Tulsa-like, but there's still a lot of things they do out there that are different.
So is the ranch where she's at and the stuff, is that around here somewhere where the horses are at and that stuff?
It is, but I do not know the location. It's close.
Yeah. So then what about the, what's the name of the bar? Bed to.
Oh,
gosh.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That may be something they have in the studio.
That could be something in the
Oh,
studio.
you don't think it's an actual location?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good
Yeah,
question.
it's probably an actual location they recreated in the studio so they can control the situation better.
Control the situation. There's a lot of stuff happening in that bar, let me tell you.
Everybody's friendly and nice to Sylvester when he goes around. He goes over to the restaurants all the time. And,
does he?
People are very nice to him, and they're nice, and he's nice to them. So it's really cool to have celebrities out here that are just normal people in a sense.
Sure.
Even though they've got plenty of money.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where the show goes now and stuff for where it's at for right now and everything else too. So I wonder how many more episodes they're going to have. Anybody got any clue on that or anything?
Oh, they got another season. So they got a whole new season. I think they said 10 or 12. I can't remember.
That's cool. I heard some rumors that Sylvester was getting tired of doing it. Too much work or something like that. I don't know if that's true or not. It's just a rumor or whatever, but I sure hope not. I hope he keeps it going. He's the best part of the show.
He is definitely that. I don't think he realized what he was getting into when he got it, but
that's probably true too.
That's a lot of work to do all that stuff and travel all the time to get over here.
Yeah, I wonder how much time he's really here.
It's questionable. I couldn't say. So he's got his own suite somewhere downtown, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Probably at the Omni.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, fantastic. Everything good with you?
The Chili Bowl.
Yeah, the Chili Bowl.
Chili Bowl, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, have you ever been?
So I went 2 years ago. Thank you guys for.
That's right. We got some tickets.
I got.
Yep.
And that was great 2 years ago. I didn't get a chance to go last year, and I know I told you last week that I was sick, and I was, but now I've gotten some antibiotics and all kinds of good stuff in me, and I'm better.
Good.
So that's all good. But I wanted to say, anybody that wants to go to the Chili Bowl that doesn't win tickets, it's indoors, so it's awesome. You got the controlled environment. The cars are great. It's a fun time. You get to talk to a lot of the drivers. They hang out there, so it's really, really a cool thing to go do. So I recommend it.
Well, fantastic. I'm glad you got to go a couple of years ago, but it's the greatest. It's the greatest event of a spectacle on dirt, in my opinion, for everywhere I've been and everything else too. Of course.
Oh, it is. It really is cool. They do a great job keeping the guys safe as they can. 450 horsepower is a lot, but they do a great job with them little cars. They go around great. I took a a guy that was just going into the Marines. He's still in. He's still doing great.
Is he?
So he's happy to go.
Yeah.
They have since moved to Corpus Christi, his mom did. So I don't get seeing them anymore, but still talk to them all the time.
Yeah. Well, that's good. You get got to get everybody out here to the Chili Bowl tonight. It's going to be a fun time. They're getting ready to fire the cars. I'm surprised we don't hear any motors going yet. But.
Starting at the P feature.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of.
It's fun. I just say everybody go that can go because it's really a fun time. So.
Yep, exactly.
Don't get to do this once a year, so.
Yeah, it's kind of like Nick said
I'm
yesterday.
glad they let you guys come up there. Now, who's buying me lunch today if I come up there?
I will. Come on up.
All right, we'll come up there.
All
What
right.
time?
I don't care.
I'm an hour and a half away, so what time?
I don't care. We're here all day. We're here till probably at least 11 o'clock tonight. So
Come
whatever.
on down.
All right.
All right.
Come
Sounds
on
good.
down.
There you go. All right, Delbert. Thanks for the call, buddy.
Guys.
And hopefully see you soon.
You're welcome.
Thanks, buddy.
You guys have a great night, day, and all that stuff. Maybe we'll see you later.
All right.
Yep. So.
New caller, call in. Let's go.
Anyway, in the background, we got things going on from last night at the Chili Bowl, which we got put on a big screen back there. So
Yeah, they just got that car down off the wall that got ramped up on the wall, and now they're doing the red pit. What was it?
Yeah.
What'd you call it?
Open red.
Open red.
Open red.
So,
That's when you can come out there, put gas in it, and
which
I think you can
last night I
do,
thought they were going to need gas there
I
as
thought-
many times as they were cautioned and going around
Yeah,
there towards
put-
the end of that. It was
put tear offs on. I think you can do anything but change a tire. If you change a tire, you got to go to the tail.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
typically how that works. I'm assuming it's the same here, but
So got a couple of comments here, so we'll go through those. Audio quality is good. Yeah, thank you. You're welcome. By the way,
For those you're not knowing what's going on there is we were doing the live feed last night to tell everybody what we're doing today. And we had no audio.
it was the struggle bus.
We had to fire our IT guy.
Yeah. So those guys working in the backgrounds, man, I don't know. Sometimes, anyways. So got that deal squared away, and then we've got Rex says, "Don't give the trivia question answers away, Phil."
Yeah, I did last
That
week.
did happen. And then got another comment here too. It says, "Phil got to ask why no back wheels. Black wheels for Jake." Huh.
Yeah.
Wonder who put that on there. I know the answer to this, but I'll let these two debate it out.
I'm not getting in the middle of this.
Huh?
Of this debate.
You kind of
So,
have been in the middle of this debate.
I have my own opinions that I'll keep to myself, but at the end of the day, I know who pays the bills on that car. And if he says to get a certain color of wheel off the shelf, that's what I'll get.
I've specifically seen a sharp stick getting poked every once in a while from you. So the fact that you choose to say that you're staying neutral is
I think the thing would look great with black wheels on
Nope.
it. I've told him that, but
I will tell you that, yes, Randall, I do not like black wheels. I'm a chrome guy, and that's probably, I guess it's just my age or whatever behind that thing. And I know the black wheels are popular and everything else too. And we had to run a black right front at Boone, and Jake thought it was just so cool. No, it's not cool. And other thing I'd like you to do is if you get Buddy to call into the show, he can tell you what he thinks of black wheels versus chrome
yeah.
too.
So what we need to do is just give us your opinion. So not even specifically a race car, just
yeah.
anything automotive or wheel and tire application. Do you prefer a chrome wheel or a black wheel, and why?
I think we should put a poll up here if we can do that. And,
Yeah, okay.
and then
Let's
we
put it
can,
up.
And then we can see. And
Put
then
up. Put your comment. Let's just see who. What do you prefer
Either
on
car,
wheel?
yeah.
And no matter what you're putting it on. I don't care if it's race car, your everyday driver, a truck, a car, SUV, go kart, Randall, whatever it might be from that part.
So what I will tell you
QRC.
is
So
I believe that the manufacturers have kind of influenced that from chrome to a black wheel. Now, also my opinion is that it is probably cheaper for them to manufacture something that is painted or
not chrome.
not chrome. And I believe that's kind of the reason that they did it. But there's a lot of vehicles.
okay, here comes chrome. There's two chromes.
Yeah, looky there. Here we go.
Anyway, but it's right. I think it is a lot cheaper to make that black wheel, painted wheel, than it is to do a chrome wheel, which I understand that part too. But
What blows me away is when you go looking for, say, an aftermarket option or whatever like that. they're almost always priced the same. And I know that it didn't take the same to manufacture both of those, you know. And so that always is interesting to me for sure.
Well, in my other opinion, you know, is the look. It's just a look, and I don't know. I just don't like the look of a black wheel. And when Jake come around at Boone with that right front black wheel, and we didn't have a mud plug on it, but I will tell you, I do have some black wheels, but I put mud plugs over them to hide them. But we found out a rule while we were there at Boone that the ring, you cannot have a bead lock on the right front, so you got to have that ring in there to hold the mud plug on. And we just had it's a swedge, kind of a smash out that hold it in there. And there's a rule you got to have it welded. I had no idea it had to be welded. So instead of getting DQ'd or something stupid like that, I just didn't run a mud plug. And here come that car with that black wheel on it. Yeah.
So got a couple more comments.
Yeah, what do we got? What do we got?
Yeah, so far we've got chrome or natural all day, chrome, and then black centered with a polished lip. So we're going to put that in the chrome column.
So that is old school right there. So that is the old MRT wheel that had a chrome shell and a black center. And what MRT did is they had this real gnarly black center, okay, and this chrome outer that was pretty lightweight.
Yeah.
And they had a crash program. So you could buy these wheels. They were fairly expensive. But if you wrecked one, you could send it back and get another one for like half of the price of a new one.
Really?
Because all they would do, because that center wasn't going to bend. Only the shell would bend. So they'd cut the center out of it, weld it into a new shell,
and resell it.
Yeah. But
okay, so we got another one on here, and here's what I'm going to tell the listeners is that if you type in, I'm going to read what favors me. If you call in, I really can't sway that one way or the other. So let's get the phones ringing.
Yeah, let's call in with your questions.
But this one says black rim on a yellow and blue car probably wouldn't look right. Now, if you all go back to a black car, it would be pretty cool. Just murder it out.
Well, that's what Jake wants to do. We're trying to decide of course, Tanner's been racing in Beta all this last week and this week and everything else. And when he gets back, our new car is going on the jig. And so I want both cars to be the same. But I think maybe, I lost the bet twice now. That I told Jake he had to win 5 features before I could change the color. Well, he did it 2 years ago and he did it last year. So I guess I'm kind of losing out here. But he wants to do an all blackout car.
Well, but you're not changing the bet to his skill set. As it improves, you have to change the bet.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
But I do think this new car is probably going to have to be a black car, and as much as I hate it or whatever.
So how many races did you run last year?
Run?
Yeah.
Oh, probably 50.
Yeah, I was going to say 50 to 60. Probably.
So he needs 49 wins, and then he gets to pick the black color.
If he gets 49 wins, he'll win that IMCA national championship. And then if he can do that, then I think you just let him have whatever color car he wants.
Yeah, probably so.
But hey, so I was watching on this, not to change the subject, but
keep the comments coming. We'd love to have some phone calls on what kind of wheels.
So we were kind of talking about these midgets at the beginning of the show, and how horsepower to weight ratio and the suspension of them and stuff. And
hey, not to interrupt here, but I'm kind of watching. I'm not. The more you watch the cars, look at the crowd back there. What they're doing.
Yeah.
That's the rowdy section. I think they call it, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway.
Okay. So if you look at these cars up close, all 4 shocks on these cars are adjustable.
Yep.
And they can adjust the shocks from inside the car.
Oh, they can when they're racing?
Yeah. So in all these cars, you've got a knob. You got 2 knobs on each side to adjust every shock. So imagine being out there on that track, turning a 12-second lap in a car with that much power and keeping track of your suspension and tuning that suspension as the racetrack changes and as the race goes on, hey, there's the 19B.
Yeah. How'd he do? I don't remember.
He backed up
Who's
a little
that?
bit.
Yeah.
He backed up a little bit.
So Nick,
Whose
Nick,
number was 19B?
Well,
Nick has fond memories of 19B.
Yeah.
So what was the 19 from?
So
We're all over the
I
board
know,
here today.
we
but that's
are.
a-
We are.
Well,
Where'd that come
because
from?
when I started racing,
I bet you
no
had black
idea.
wheels in that modified.
You damn right I did. But so my birthday's on May the 19th, and I was like, had no idea what number I wanted to be, and it was like race day, and my parents were like, pick a number, and I'm like, I don't know what number I want to be, and they're like, well, why don't you just be 19 because that's your birthday? So then I was just 19.
That's how it is, huh?
Yeah.
And the B was because he was a second favorite child.
Yeah. Well, I was just 19 forever, but then when I started modified racing, there was another Card 81 Speedway that was 19, so I had to take a B on it.
So, guys, we're going to
Hey, let's want to hear in the background.
Well, yeah, we got a caller on the line. We're going to go to the phones, talk to Richard. Richard, you're on live with Under the Hood. Get us back on track here, buddy. We're all over the board.
Hey, I was wondering something. I might make a drive down there today, but when these races are inside, I'm sure it's all good. But what's the air quality like in there when you're breathing? Do you smell the cars, or is it exhaust? Or
They've done a good job on the air fuel mixture ratio and the actual mixture of the fuel. They have to buy their fuel here from Sunoco, and they've got a special blend for this indoor. Now, I'm going to tell you, 4 or 5 years ago when I first started coming to this deal, it was not very good air quality, but they have done a fantastic job, in my opinion, of keeping the air moving through here and keeping that straight. But Nick, you got any? Can you add any more to that fuel?
Yeah, it used to be pretty bad in here back in the day, but the expo center here, they've invested a lot of money in the ventilation of this building, and it's not
what you think.
bad.
There used to be, there's still out there. They're called the chili bowl flu. When you get home, you got the flu and everything.
That's from the chili pie and the liquid courage. That has nothing to do with the track or anything. So what I will say about it is that as you're going out throughout the day, that the laps or the number of laps for each race are pretty short, and so it kind of has time for the dust to settle and the air to clear out. As they rework the track. Now you get to the main features, and especially tonight after a 50-lap race or at the end of the deal, and it's pretty dusty in here. But for the most part throughout the day, it's pretty good or pretty clean air. So
yeah, very true.
Yeah, I've never been down there. It'd be nice to go, but I didn't know if you was like getting just messed up with all the air quality in there. I didn't know.
No, not at all. I don't think so. There might be some people that are more sensitive to it than others are from that standpoint. But I tell you, after last night's feature and stuff was just a 30-lap race. And when we sat through, 10 races before that. And I don't know, they've done a great job with that. But I also think the fuel that they've actually
blended for this deal,
has done a great job of keeping that under control.
Yeah, it just burns a lot cleaner, and it's just a lot better. I noticed a few people up in the stands wearing a mask or whatever, but I think if you wore a mask, I think it would not affect you at all. So I think it's that low. So
So Richard, you got the car you want. Are you going to put chrome wheels on it or black wheels?
Oh, you know what? I'm old school. I do not like the black wheel.
Thank you. Ding, 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 ding. Winner, chicken dinner.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm with you too, buddy. 100%. 100%.
All right. Thanks.
Hey, thanks for
very
the call.
much.
Thanks, Richard. Yep.
All right, let's keep the phones ringing. Let's find out, what wheels color do you like? Black, chrome, whatever color. What would you put on your car today if you're getting ready to? I don't know, but it sure seems to me like chrome winning out here, boys.
So I'm not going to toot our horn yet, Phil, but this was a blind deal. We didn't set this up or nothing, and it's kind of coming out in our favor so far.
Yeah. Anyway, then go back to the Jake's next car is what we raced that black car for several years, and then we went to the blue and yellow car we unveiled at that time at the Hutch Nationals. And he doesn't understand that I can see the car so much better. I can see what's going on with the car. I can find him in the track so much better.
Because everybody else is running black.
So, and everything else too.
So I've not looked on it on the wheel side of things. So when we're putting wheels on the racing wheels, is there a price difference, chrome or black, or is there?
Yeah, there's chrome is generally more expensive. About 10 to 12% higher.
Yeah, it is.
So.
But that still looks so good on that race car, on that racetrack.
So I didn't think about it from a standpoint of finding them, because the majority of guys probably are running black out there too.
Well, I will tell you, when we had our last T-shirt design, the guy came back with the first design. He had black wheels on that car. So,
that ain't working.
I made him change it.
Yeah.
So,
Sure glad you didn't print up 500 of them, because you'd have been redoing them.
yeah, it'd have been rough on that deal.
Believe it or not, though, I mean, more often than not, people spend the money on the chrome wheels because, I mean, we sell the chrome like 3 to 1.
Okay,
really?
So,
ding, 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 ding. There we go.
You're not supposed to.
I'm just telling the truth.
Yeah.
See, look, and this is the 19B right here. He's running fourth. And I mean, I'm nothing against this driver that's driving this car, but in typical 19B fashion, he was pretty fast at the beginning of the race. And then about halfway, he started fading. And then he spun out with about 5 to go. So
Did he?
It's
I wish
about,
I'd have known that. I've been watching that a little harder last
yeah,
night.
it's, you know, that's just
Been
how,
rooting for you, Nick.
That's just how it goes when you're in the
There it
19B.
goes.
So,
Okay.
you know,
All right, let's keep the phones ringing. What color wheels? And anything you want to talk about the Chili Bowl or whatever it might be. And I hear the cars in the background firing up. And so it's about time for the P
yeah.
feature.
Yeah.
Dang.
So I don't know. I'll let you read that one.
What do we got?
Rex got on there, says Phil could be the pinnacle of old school.
Huh. How about that, Nick?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, Rex. Game on, buddy. So, anyway, so let's keep the phones ringing. Love to hear about your color, your wheels you'd put on your car. Let's make it happen. 316-462-3673. You know what? You're going to get a break price package about over $130 for each and every caller from that standpoint. Anything you want to talk about the Chili Bowl, anything alien in your car, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Let's get on the phones. 316-462-3673. And as we hear the cars in the background fire up and get ready to go, and it's going to be a lot of racing today.
So what do you think it cost to do this? So you've got the car, everything, just to come down here and enter. What do you think it costs to enter into this thing?
I mean, I don't know what the entry fee is. I mean, it's probably a couple $100, but I mean, you'll probably spend.
So we were talking about
probably spend $2,000 on your tire bill.
That's
at
what
least.
I was going to say. We talked
know,
about tires last
end.
night. So let's talk about what tires you're going to use.
How much is one tire?
One tire.
I'm sure the front and rears are different too, aren't they?
Yeah. So the midget fronts, I mean, they're a couple $100 a piece. The 84-inch RD12, the open right rear that they're running here, they're $335 a piece.
Woo. Okay, so now
how often? Yeah, that's the next thing.
You're not going to be going through this fronts the same.
You're not going to be going to the fronts. You'll put on. Really, you're going to have a set of rears on. You're going to run them in the heat race, and then you'll run them in your feature. If you've got to run, a D feature, a C feature, or a B feature, if you do make it all the way to the A, you're probably going to be having to bolt tires on, But if you,
that's what I want.
But if you qualify,
two features,
yeah.
probably.
But if you qualify out of your heat race right into the A main,
yeah,
or the qualifier and go right to the A main, you can probably run the same set of rear tires all night, I would imagine. But
you'd run the same in the A if you just qualified.
I think so. Well, what they're doing here.
I'm getting the A. I got a new set on that, baby.
Hoosier only built so many tires of these open tires to bring to this race, right? So every team that's entered gets a open right rear and an open left rear for the qualifying night, and then they can come back and get another one for.
Here, come here. Stand here for just a second.
There's a joke here, buddy. Turn around.
Turn around. Okay. Yep. See this? Phil spotted him out of the crowd. Thank you, bud.
There's an inside joke to that, okay?
Thank you.
All right, Josh, tell him the inside joke.
So this guy right here, he just found a new best friend. But Phil has a thing with Talladega Nights, and that guy just come walking by with a Ricky Bobby shirt, says if you ain't first you're last, with the American flag in the back of it. Phil spotted that from 300 yards away.
I saw Josh going
trying to coordinate that deal. So
yeah, so the inside joke of that, everybody.
Oh, looky here, they nailed it. Got it, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, Delbert. The inside joke to this deal is is everyone thinks that I sat down and watched Talladega Nights about every other night. Not happening. But I will tell you, yeah, the first time I ever sat down to watch that movie and he wins the race going backwards, I said, okay. And Todd Brown, my buddy, was sitting there beside me and goes, well, we lost Phil, didn't we? I said, yeah, you did. But I still swear on a stack of Bibles in my mother's grave that I have never sat down and watched Talladega Nights from the start to the finish. Hasn't happened. Won't happen.
He's had
ever.
to get up and go to the bathroom and get a drink every time because he's laughing his ass off for the whole
I guess
deal.
sometime I was going to try to just bust
you're
through
gonna
it.
have to you're gonna have to swallow it,
Swallow and go through there.
Yep,
So
for
yeah.
sure.
So
I apologize. As you were talking about the tires,
What were we talking about?
The price of the
price of the
tires.
tires
Okay.
and what we went
All
through as far as
Okay, so Hoosier built so many right rears and open right rears and open left rears just to come to this event because of the tire rule situation we talked about earlier, right?
Sure.
So each team here was able to buy a right rear and a left rear for their qualifying night, and then they're able to come back and buy another right rear and another left rear for today. Okay. So you have to make those work. So if you have to run on the racetrack, you either have to beg, borrow, and steal from somebody else, or you have to run
out or whatever.
or you have to run a D12 or an SP2 or something, to qualify on. But there is a limit to what
how
you're
many
able to get.
each driver can buy.
Yeah, so each car gets to buy a right rear and a left rear on qualifying night, and a right rear and a left rear today. So,
That's
from being over there last night, it looked like they had plenty left. So
maybe
they'll
open that
open
up
that up a little bit. But
and that's coming from people that have bought tires and maybe had a little reserve pile going.
yeah, I'm sure a lot of people have some extras in reserve, and there's tires to be had out there. So
Okay, my question I got is, I know what we do on our Hoosiers and what everybody does on the American racers and stuff to prep them and grind them and sipe them and groove and everything else too. Is there any rules on these tires? Can they do the same thing, or can they not do anything? Is there any, or do you know?
to my knowledge, I think you can do whatever you want. I mean, they'll probably groove the circumference of them to help them get a little bit more side bite and stuff. But
yeah, I kind of wish that what each sanctioning body would do was they would come up with the tire, and all you can do is grind it. That's it. I wish they would leave the tire alone. So everybody had the same deal. Everybody's got a different idea how to groove it and what get your side bite, like you're talking about, and keep it roaring better, everything else from that standpoint. And on the G60s, I agree. Grooving the tire does make it last a lot longer from that part and everything else too, with the tire shortage we have going on.
and that's what, on the switch gears a little bit to the open competition late model. I guess it's not open competition late models anymore. It's we have the new national late model spec tire, and Hoosier's pushing real hard these national series to just let them grind the tire, and even going as far as to restrict the grit of the sandpaper that you can use to grind it, and not allowing them to groove inside. There's a lot of teams out there saying that it's not going to work because it's the tire's just not going to last as long. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
let's go to the phones. We got Jordan on live with us. Jordan, you're on live with Under the Hood.
Oh no.
What's up, guys? How we doing this morning?
We are doing fantastic, man. You should hear the stories we've heard about you. Good God.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, so what is it? Black or
like
chrome
that.
wheels there?
Okay, first of all, that's why I'm shouting. This is the dumbest argument ever. They make 0 horsepower. I like whatever wheels I can win on. Okay, I got the man writing the check that's paying for my racing. He can choose whatever color, chrome, green. I don't give two flying. I don't care. Yeah, it's the dumbest argument ever. Let's talk shots. Let's talk engine, springs. Let's talk things that go fast. Black or chrome wheels, nobody cares. I like the ones in victory lane. That's my 2 cents.
So on one side, he's got a point.
Oh yeah, he does. I agree with you 100% on that part. I still like my race car to look cool going down the racetrack, though.
But on the other side, I heard chrome.
Nothing looks cooler than being in victory lane. Period. End of discussion.
What does?
I said nothing looks cooler than being in the victory lane.
Oh yeah.
Period.
I get it. I get that too. I understand that 100%. But yeah, but back to the stories we have heard about you down here. Woo! This things we can't talk on the air about.
We've told plenty of Nick Ballman and Jordan Whitehead stories.
Well, everyone's got a past. We'll just leave it at that.
No. Let's let a little more out than what we can hear on the air, because some of the things we talked about last night cannot get on the air.
Okay, what can get on the air? Let's go ahead and get it on the tape.
Well, just be clean. Just be clean, right, Nick?
That's right.
Just be clean.
I was telling these guys earlier about the time we went to PRI and partied for 3 days at PRI, and then had tickets to the noon Chiefs game that Sunday, and flew back and drove to Kansas City and went to the casino and walked out of the casino at 8 a.m.
Instead of sleep, we spent the night at the casino. That was a good night. That was a good
and
trip,
it was
period.
7 degrees below zero at the Chiefs game, and
ended up at the ice bar with Jesse Stovall, the late model racer. Good time.
Yeah, the ice bar, which is basically just a glorified walk-in cooler, and they gave you a parka, and you walked into this cooler. You went into a walk-in cooler, and they gave you a Grey Goose martini, and then told you had to leave so they could get more people in the cooler because it wasn't very big.
$35 well spent.
Oh man.
Yep. So. There were some other stories. We just can't get them on the air here, whatever, either. So, but we will talk about that in person. I will tell you. You ready for that? You hear that? Okay.
Well, that's fine. We can talk about. You know what? I tell you what. Let's change the subject for a second. Let's talk about what I want to talk about, and that's the Chili Bowl. And there has been a little controversy around the Chili Bowl this year, and I, as a racer, want to take the side of the Chili Bowl. And I know that is not normal, but when you think about the Chili Bowl,
let's back up. What's the controversy you're talking about? Because there's a bunch of them down here, and I should say a bunch. There's several.
With the pay, right?
End of the day, the person doesn't pay enough, and nothing against the people complaining, but the ones complaining have already made their mark in the month of January. And I think if the person was zero, you wouldn't lose a car. I mean, the Chili Bowl is the only race that can truly, truly, truly be called the Nationals. In that, if you win that, you are a national champion. I mean, it's ARCA on crack. It's every discipline of racing at one place showing off their skills. So, and I think it's springboarded many NASCAR careers, Indy careers, and even, on World of Outlaw sprint car careers and on down the list. So, what the Chili Bowl pays, I've always said, is irrelevant. I mean, people are paying more for a ride than it pays to win the race anyway. So, I think keep doing what you're doing, Chili Bowl, and you're going to pack the place every year. That's my 2 cents.
I think that's a great point. I think 50% of the cars in these pits have been bought. The entry's been bought. The driver or the driver sponsor has stepped up with the money and put the money up so that the driver can get in the car and have
the next question is
shot of getting their name out there.
Okay, so let's go with this too. So let's take the winner. They win $10,000. Is the winning purse for tonight's A feature? Who gets the $10,000? Does the driver get it? Does the sponsor or the car owner get the car? Or is it a split?
Whatever. They all have a different agreement.
They all have different agreement stuff for that too. Yeah. Jordan, I hear what you're saying. It's going to be a packed house in here and everything else too from that standpoint. But I do believe that if you win any NASCAR race, it pays more than $10,000. And I'd almost bet if you started the race and got in the top 10 of a NASCAR race, I think you're paid more than $10,000 for a NASCAR.
So
for 10 spot forward.
On this, I don't know. On this side, there's no real series to this, right? I mean, you're not getting points for anything long. You're not. This is for bragging rights, is what this is for.
If you come out here and you win this race and you get your name on that billboard with all the past champions, a year from now, the money that they paid you to win that race is not going to mean squat, but that name being up there with that list of all those other names is what's going to matter.
No, I get it. I mean, there's all kinds of sides of this debate and everything else too. I understand what you're saying, Jordan. Agree with you there too. I just think that should pay more than $10,000. When I look around here, what this thing's making and netting and coming up here, they can afford to pay a little more than $10,000.
And you're also, I mean, you're nowhere even close to probably covering your expense at that. Coming down here for however long, fuel, car, no.
And
I see where Phil's coming from, because Phil, you are a businessman, and everybody knows this. So you were looking at it from a business standpoint. I'm looking at it from a racer's standpoint. So either way, I get why you Phil, the businessman, are like, well, absolutely, So I understand your point, but either way,
no, I get it.
Makes for good radio.
It's a good debate to have and be on both sides, and I'm going to tell you that I wish a couple of guys that are not here this year were here, because they do make a good show out of it and make it a funner thing to watch. And I haven't got to the comment on here. Randall wants to know who we're pulling for tonight. I don't know who to pull for, to be honest with you, because there's a lot of good cars here and everything else too. And you're going to have, even though you hit the A main and even say you start in the top 10, you're still going to have a lot of luck behind you to make that happen. I mean, think about it. 2 years ago, Christopher Bell was winning this thing, and 2 laps to go or 1 lap to go, loops it and wrecks it, and he's done.
Yeah, that's where I spun out.
And then a couple of years ago, Larson was winning it too and blew the motor.
Yep.
So there's all kinds of issues that are there
But
too.
I guess the other side of the coin here too, when you talk about the money side of it is these big car owners that come out here with multiple entries. They've all got a big name sponsor on the side of them that either they got or the driver brought or whatever. And those sponsors are paying a lot more money to get on that car for the exposure than what the race probably pays. So I think the car owners and the teams, where they're making their money really at the end of the day, is for those sponsorships that go on those cars, so that those sponsors can be seen on MAV TV and Flow.
And those are the guys who decide what color wheels the car has.
I'm gonna start paying attention, but see what color wheels really are on most of these cars around here.
Don't pay attention.
But Logan Seavey, who won last night, his car's red on one side and white on the other. When he's going down the back straightaway, you can't tell who he is because you think his car's red, but then it's white and it's red. And
exactly. So, well, anyway, like I said, good debate. I just wish that, of course, I get Larson's out there. He's running in Vado right now, and I don't think he had very good luck last night in that late model, but I don't know what Christopher Bell's doing. I wish he was here too.
He ran fifth. That's not that bad.
No, he was in a wreck.
I mean, he can't win every time all the time.
Well, that's about what he is, though. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's true.
So here we got.
You're right.
So right here we've got Victory Fuel, which is Kevin Swindell's new energy drink. I'm not a big energy drink guy, but they're passing this stuff out. It's called Throttle Punch. This is Alan's. He's been drinking it, but I'm gonna give it a little taste test here, right here on the air.
Okay.
And see.
Yeah, but I just wonder what you're putting in your body.
Oh, here comes the health nut, Phil, with his ground up herbs and little Go-Gurt squeeze he eats on his fasting day. It's fine. Take a drink of it. Live a little.
It's actually pretty good. It tastes like Hawaiian Punch without any sugar.
Now, I wonder what Swindell just paid you to do that, because I spit for him. What I want to know.
I just wanted to give it a shot here.
No, I get it.
The driver only gets 10 grand, and Nick just made 15. Oh shoot!
You got to know how to play the game, Josh.
I get it. Got to know how to play the game. I get it too. So,
well, very good.
Okay, Jordan.
Good
anything, any other comments or anything? Any words of wisdom for me?
I'm going to leave you guys with this. My prediction for the night, or not my prediction, my picks. I'd like to see that Hank Davis kid from Oklahoma win it as an underdog. That would be super cool. Or the young ladies are making a show in this year. I want to see one of those young ladies win it. I mean, they're having the best year they've ever had, really making a name in the sport. So I want to see either one of the young ladies win it or Hank Davis. That's my call for tonight, and you guys have a great Saturday.
All right, buddy. Hey, thanks for the call. All right, 316-462-3673. Just got a few minutes left on the show. The Cure the Cars in the background, zinging it up on the OP feature. Of course, that might be the O feature now. Who knows?
Yeah. They're singing. Somebody's going to be done before breakfast. That's all I can say.
Or is out already.
Somebody is going to be done.
So I think that's your car you're talking about right there. It's red on this side and it's white on this.
Yeah.
Red, and it's going to be white over here. Yep.
There it is.
Oh, that's even this. That's
it.
real.
Yeah. That's the.
the design
Victory
and
Fuel.
everything
Victory
like that.
Fuel.
So anyway, yeah, Jordan, a little health nut there, but that's all right. Anyway, let's just a few minutes left. We get some more calls going on, and we got a few more comments on the screen here.
So
Getting a few.
we gotta get
got another black one. Trace says black.
Yeah, I wasn't going to read that because it didn't favor my deal, but I guess whatever. So let's get your last comments on there on chrome or black wheels on what you prefer as well. So we were talking about tires and how often they were changing them and things like that. What on these cars, the majority of these engines are all Toyotas, right?
There's
like
a
what
lot of
are
Toyotas.
what are your engine options in something like this? If
So-
you know that, I don't want to put you on the spot, but
There's like
So-
four.
Yeah, so the Toyota program in the midget deal is really, really strong.
Yeah.
It's probably the best. S-Linger is another one that's got a pretty decent program. So between those two, there's some Chevrolets in the field. They're not as dominant, I think, as they used to be.
There's
but,
one other one. Is it?
but
it's going to be like a Honda or a Gertie.
Gertie, that's the one I was looking for.
But yeah, the Toyota program in the midget racing is kind of the program to be on right now, it seems like.
and there's really no other use for these engines other than this. Like
These are all custom made. The blocks, the cylinder heads, everything is custom made for midget racing.
And is it like a crate engine, so it's sealed, can't do anything to the insides of it, or?
I don't know so much that it's like sealed like a spec engine, but TRD, builds them, and you buy them from TRD, and
go from there.
Run them.
Yeah, I kind of want to maintenance you if they're adjusting valves, or changing valve springs, or anything that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
that part.
They'll probably run the things, 250 laps before they take it back apart. But they probably need to run the valves on it every night, and obviously change oil and just kind of regular maintenance.
Get it ready to go from there.
But I think they're pretty, for the most part. From what I understand, they're pretty reliable engines. You just push the thing off and go.
You don't see many engine failures. Like I said, 2 years ago, we seen when Larson lost one. But you really don't see too many engine failures out here.
Yeah.
You really don't.
Which I think probably for this race here, I think there are some of the top tier funded teams out here are probably spending some extra money on their engine program to squeeze a little bit more out of it than what they would normally run throughout the season.
Yeah.
Just for this one race. But
so one of the quotes that I heard last night,
yes, which one was that?
was there's not no such thing. Oh, go ahead. I'll let you.
No, go.
It's yours.
That's not mine. It's Shelby's.
Yeah,
Carol Shelby's. There's no such thing as too much horsepower, just not enough traction.
That's right. And in this particular case here, with these lighter weight cars and stuff like that, I mean, at a point of horsepower after that, it's not going to do you any good.
Yeah, and the thing about these cars too is, even though they have so much horsepower, and they're so lightweight, they've got a lot of tire on them for what they are. So these cars are really, really hooked to the racetrack.
Yeah, they are on rails.
I'm watching where we're sitting down there in turn one. I mean, you can watch that right rear really working hard on that thing when it's going through the corner and stuff too. And I tell you, and that's what I was sitting there thinking to myself last night, is you really think about how much abuse that right rear is taking, and it can still hold together.
Yeah.
It's taking a lot of abuse. And we got a caller coming, Josh?
Yeah, we do. Let's go to the phones. Let's talk to Greg. Greg, you're on live with Under the Hood. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning to you guys.
Good morning.
I'm calling for a few reasons. First off, it's chrome if I'm buying anything. But if it's an old car that I don't know, if you've ever seen my cars that I've kind of customized a little bit, they've got red wheels and purple wheels, and one of them even has black wheels. But I don't know. I do like chrome. Just, I don't know. If you've ever seen the Focuses that I've collected and now my kids all drive.
Yeah.
I don't know. We go a little crazy custom stuff.
We're going to go ahead and put you in the chrome column, though. But, there are a lot of different options out there, and the manufacturers are even, you can get black wheels with a colored accent ring or whatever from there, too. So definitely a lot of that.
But I really wanted to call and ask you about a 2009 Ford Fusion. My dad called me last night, and he was trying to talk to me about this car he's renting on. And, you know, he's down in Florida, so he can't come bring it to you guys. But he's like, oh, he's dealing with a transmission code, solenoid C or something. And so he changed that, switched it out, which I guess he had to open the transmission to get to, but now he's like, well, I'm still getting the same code. He tells me he can clear the code, and, you know, as he pulls away from like a stop sign, he can clear the code, but as soon as he goes to stop again, it's like there's a pressure. So he's thinking maybe it's a pressure switch.
Yeah.
Where do you think he ought to go with that?
Yeah, so there's a couple things that could be happening. You know, those are obviously electronically controlled by a module or a computer. So there could be the computer itself is not sending a signal to the solenoid. Could be in the wiring harness from that side, as far as that signal not traveling from the harness to the solenoid itself. But then the other side of it is it could be getting the air from what that solenoid is supposed to control. So it flows, or it controls fluid flow into generally a piston, or holds a band from that side of the things inside the transmission. But then there's things that monitor the action that the command was requesting. And if that doesn't happen, then, you know, you could be getting the code for that reason as well. And you said it was a 2009 Fusion, I believe, is what you said. Correct?
I did, with a 2.3 with a 5-speed automatic.
And what we've seen, or what I've seen in some of those, is actually the solenoid body or the valve body in those. If it's got a sticking valve, that's another possibility. So there's a mechanical valve that slides back and forth in a valve body, and then that solenoid actuates it, and it controls where the fluid goes to. And so the most likely cause would be probably something like that. Now, when you're talking transmissions, if fluid's not going where it's supposed to be going, it doesn't take very long to burn up clutches and bands and things like that. So, you know, I'd be cautious of that and just see what the fluid looks like and everything like that. But I would really probably investigate that valve body quite a bit and see if there's a solenoid stuck in it. So.
I got you. Okay, I will relay that to him. I sure appreciate it. He when I told him that I'm just going to call in the morning and I'll just ask the guys that know stuff about it. All I'm doing is using Google.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes Google's good,
Yeah.
sometimes it's not. So
I've seen it lead people a long way down a long rabbit hole. You know, pretty quick and easy, and everything like that for sure. But then, like Phil says, there's situations where it can be definitely helpful. So. Thanks for your comments, and you know, if you need more information on that, I'd be more than happy to help you out on that Fusion. So,
all right, thank you for your time, guys.
Perfect. Have a great day. So
what's going on here? My boy was walk by, hand you a cup of coffee.
So that's
he's going to promote that now too. Another little sponsor.
good friend of mine, Chris Reagan. He's on the board for go-kart road racing.
Okay.
He's from Wichita.
Oh, very cool.
And just known him for a long time, and always kind of kept up on the road race kart deal. It's always kind of been something I've wanted to do, and so we're going to try to maybe do a little something with their group with Hoosier next year. And
okay,
very cool,
perfect,
yep. Very cool.
Just great guys.
We're gonna recap here. Recap.
What are we going to do again?
Home field advantage.
So
wow, yeah, home field advantage is exactly correct.
These boys stayed up way too late last night.
Boys? What boys?
We're
going to talking about?
Recap here. I have got a lot of Chrome comments here, Nick. I think you lost hands down on that deal. And I'm actually reading everything at this point. So
I was a low buck racer. So, I mean, the only reason I didn't run Chrome wheels because I couldn't afford
But there is another comment here come from, I think, at Delbert. It's whatever gets you to the finish line, but Chrome sure looks cooler in the winner's circle.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, well.
Got that one. And then another Chrome. Let's see. Is there some whiskey sweetener in that coffee there, Nick?
No, not yet. Not
No.
yet. It's too early.
Yeah, way
It's too early.
So
It's 5 o'clock somewhere in the world. I've always been told.
It's
You
too
know?
early.
And what time zone you're in or whatever.
Yeah, I know it's 5 o'clock somewhere, but not here.
not here.
Not here.
Not here.
Well, anyway, gentlemen, hey, the hour is just about run out. We've had a great time at the Chili Bowl. Can't get ready for some good racing today. Come by, see us at booth here. We got a few leftover fuel jugs still here. Got a lot of bags I can give you out still from that part. If you want something, come by, see us here. It's that booth. Come to the Chili Bowl, have a blast. It's a fun time here. It's the greatest racing event, in my opinion, to watch on dirt. It is so much fun and thrilling, exciting. Of course, the crowd kind of helps a little bit too.
Yeah, it does. Everybody gets into it
to get involved in everything else too from that standpoint. So, real quick, we really haven't done a very good job of taking care of our sponsors that help us with this show. And of course, BG Products. Godly, I tell you, that's a great partnership we have with those guys and everything else too. Love their products. That's the best part. They have a great product out there. As they say, you get what you pay for. BG stuff's not cheap, and I'm not going to sell you something that's not going to do you a good job in your car. But they got so many products going to make your car run many, many more miles. And remember, what's in your owner's manual is what I call the minimum you need to do to your car. And that's because the manufacturer only cares about getting you through that warranty period. So come see us for your BG products and help you with that. Big Corner Creative for all your advertising needs. Hey, yes, we do own Big Corner Creative, but it's an advertising firm. If you need some help with your company, web page design, vehicle wraps, window wraps, anything to do in your advertising world, Jesse's got a great team down there, can help you whatever avenues or money you need to be spent to help bring your business to the top in your market. So, and then of course, go to rent. What do I say there, Josh? We're down about half a fleet still over there. So it's kind of tough over there. Stan's doing a great job with the fleet he's got. Got a little battle right now with Ford's wanting me to pull some inventory out, but I can't replace it because there's nothing to replace it with. So if you're needing some rental cars or vans or whatever, make sure you're getting in line early enough to get your reservation ready to go. And I've already had to turn some people away with some dates and stuff that they've needed vans and already booked out. So get in line early for Go to Rent if you need a 12 or 15 passenger van. And everyone, gentlemen, let's go watch some racing. Let's go sell some fuel jugs, make some more friends, and have some fun down here at the Chili Bowl, everybody. Talk to you next Saturday.